Hey buddy, it's Peter, and we've been doing a lot of small trailer reviews on this channel, and you guys have been asking for a small trailer with a bathroom with everything you'd get in a bigger trailer. And of course you have to move up a little bit from the sizes we've been looking at, but this is that. It's got a bathroom, it's got all the things that a larger trailer would have, and it's still compact, relatively aerodynamic, and we're gonna review it in detail on this channel. So this is the Bushwhacker Plus. This is a 17FD. It's a Braxton Creek Bushwhacker Plus 17FD. Every trailer has a crazy long name. We're filming here at Lyle Bongard's CRC RV dealer here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. And the best thing about this for you is, even if you're not local, if you have questions about this trailer or anything like it, they give me complete access here to their entire trailer lineup, their entire vehicle lineup. So if there's anything that I don't get to in this in-depth review that you want to know, let me know in the comments below, and do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give me a little bit of a hand here to show these dealers that, hey, you guys are watching and I'm hopefully helping you out. So again, anything you want to know about these, if I don't cover in this video, I can cover in a future video. And if you subscribe and let me know in the comments below, I'll try to answer your questions in the comments and in future videos. So now let's get going with this review. All right, let's briefly talk about what this trailer is and why it's kind of different than a regular trailer. First of all, obviously the shape is different. It is taller than some of the other trailers we've taken out. It will not fit in a regular size garage. If you have a little bit extra tall garage door, it might fit. It also has no air conditioning on the roof. It does have air conditioning, but that no air conditioning on the roof does two things for you. One, a little bit more aerodynamic efficiency with that smoother top. It also gives you a little bit less height there, so you can get through to lower garages and that kind of thing. So again, it's not going to fit in a regular garage, but it will fit in some other garages with extra tall doors. And again, just down the road, smooth and aerodynamic. And if you look at the shape, of course, you've got that rounded front here, no seams or anything up there. You've got some diamond plate down here, so you've got the ability to sort of take stones off your vehicle and that kind of thing, or off other vehicles. And the rounded shape at the back as well. If you look at some of the most aerodynamic vehicles out there, things like Teslas, things like Priuses, they've all got that sloping back end, and the way a vehicle releases the air is almost as important as the way it cuts into the air. So both of these designs on the front with the curving area here, again, quite a bit of curve above the typical SUV, so it really pushes the air back, and the way it releases the air is going to contribute to better fuel efficiency. We should also talk about weight. This model here, this floor plan, is about 2,240 pounds dry weight. So that is dry weight. It's going to go up from there, and each floor plan is different. This is the 17FD floor plan. So if you're looking online and you want to know which floor plan it is, that's what we're going to look at here. And again, floor plans can vary in weight, and dry weights are tending to be a little bit light. This is from manufacturers by the time you get practical and put it all in there. But if you have a vehicle that tows 3,500 pounds, this is going to be towed easily with that. And that's what sort of makes sense for this kind of unit. So 2,240 dry weight, 17FD. You would think this is a 17-foot unit. It's actually an 18-foot unit by Braxton Creek's own specs. So, you know, 17, anytime you see the number here, it usually indicates the size, but they always kind of vary it up just a little bit. So that is one thing that to keep in mind, is maybe an extra foot longer than you might think it is if you're measuring for a space to put it. But again, you got to consider tongue space and all that. I don't give the full measurements. You can check that out some other place, or you can just ask me. We'll figure it out in the future. All right, let's go around the outside and look at a couple key features of this, and then we're going to go inside, where I think they do a couple things really, really smart in this particular unit, and that's why I'm showing it to you. So we're going to take a closer look at the outside here and the inside, but let's just take a look at one thing you may notice. There's no windows on the front, and there's very few windows in here. Now, some people say, hey, I want a lot of light inside my trailer. There are practical reasons why you can't put certain windows right in this area. You could have put them here, but one of the benefits with having no windows is, on a trailer that may spend a lot of time outside, especially if it's stored outside, having less cuts into the body is less chance of leakage. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Nothing can seep in, water damage can't seep in through a window and start going through there. So that is one thing to keep in mind. I like ones with a lot of light, but I understand the floor plan of this one to create that practicality. The other thing you're gonna notice is right here, this is an air conditioner, which we're gonna show you on the inside. A lot of time, these residential style air conditioners, when they mount them to the trailers, they stick them out from the unit. And you can see it's only out a couple inches, or even that, not even a couple inches, maybe just an inch or so. It gives you enough to let that vent, but it doesn't distract from the wind, the aerodynamic efficiency of this. So again, aerodynamics was something they thought about with this. The other benefit with a regular household style air conditioner is you can plug this in at home to a regular 110 outlet, because that's all this takes is a regular 110. So if you're just running your air and not running anything else, just to cool it down in your own home, you can run it, or if you just go visit a friend's house, you can run the air conditioner in this unit with just a regular 110 plug if you're just running the air conditioner. Obviously, if you're trying to run everything, you need that 30 amp service, and this does plug into 30 amps over here. Let's come a little closer and look at some of the features here before we jump inside. All right, so as we look just back from the front, you've got your freshwater fill right here, hot water heater. You've got solar panel connection here. So if you want to add solar panels and have your 12-volt battery charged through solar panels, you can do that here. And the nice thing about mounting them separate is you can park this in a little bit of shade, and you can move your solar panels out where you need them. Vent for your furnace, plug for your 30 amp service. But let's come around right here to the wheels, because this is one of the things that sets this unit apart from some of the other units. One of the things that older RVs and a lot of other RVs still do is they used to put, in my opinion, too small tires on them. Now these are very large tires. These are full, you know, sort of off-road tread, all-terrain type tires, but they have a ton of sidewalls. These are 235 75 R15, which means a 15-inch wheel here, and 75% of the width of this tire is in the sidewall as well. What that's going to do is give you a little extra cush over rough terrain, a little extra, you know, protection over you know, just difficult terrains, so you don't have pinch flats, you don't have issues with capacity. These are nice heavy-duty tires, which I kind of like. Yes, they're there for style, but I do think they add a little bit of functionality as well. Now, you also have a city water connection right there. Let's just sort of look at the center of the screen there. City water connection is right over here. An outdoor shower, which is typical on these smaller units. The difference with this one is it also has an indoor shower, which is quite nice. And you do have your holding tanks and release down below there as well. And of course the hatches, which we'll show you in just a second here. So nice to have holding tanks. Again, this is a full trailer that gives you everything a bigger trailer has, but in a fairly compact package. All right, what you're looking at right now is the hatch that is on that side of the vehicle, and you can see me through this hatch. This door here is a wider hatch. This is underneath the queen bed on the inside. The one you're looking through is about 2/3 of this door. So you have a smaller door on that side and a wide door on this side, and all kinds of space. And this is super, super helpful, because sometimes you just need that outdoor space, and you've got a ton of it here. So great space underneath this bed for outdoor storage. This opening isn't massive, but if you pack right and plan with the right things, the right kinds of lawn chairs, that kind of thing, you have all the space you need to fit everything you could need for outdoor use in a small trailer. So this is the hatch that I was just looking through. One thing I want to point out is you do have the ability to properly latch this and then have a key lock in the middle. The other one, because it's smaller, has a key lock and the single hand switch there. So what that means is you can leave it unlocked while you're camping and easily access it. Some of these little trailers only give you the option to use the key, which is just a pain. It's not helpful in any way. So having a key, you can lock it, but having you, while you're camping, be able to do it by hand makes sense. You'll see there's an outdoor plug over here, spare tire underneath there, and this little edge is the side of a hitch. Let's go take a look at the back and take a look at that. So taking a look at the back of the trailer, you can't really see the angle that this comes down on from that angle, but you've seen the side views before. Again, no windows here. You could put one here, but again, they're all about aerodynamics, and maybe that's a cost savings thing, maybe it's a water savings thing. I think on the angle here, you didn't always want a square window because there is a curvature to it. So that could be one reason they don't put a window in here. It is what it is. License plate down there underneath the LED taillights, you can see both sides, and there's that little hitch. It's not the 2-inch receiver that you're gonna have probably in your vehicle. So if you're planning to share this with like a bike rack, you may need an adapter to go from your 2-inch to here in order to be able to take the same bike rack from the back of the trailer to your vehicle. And that's what I always think is useful, is you can take your trailer, put the bikes on the back, and then you may have to switch out that adapter to throw it on here. I would have liked to see a 2-inch thing, because to me that's the kind of hitch that you're gonna have to tow this. But again, throw the adapter on, throw your bikes on here. A lot of people get upset about putting bikes in the back. This trailer's heavy enough that it shouldn't affect you too much if you load it correctly. But you do have the option to take your bikes on a hitch rack, and then when you get to the park, take the adapter out, throw the bikes bike rack on your vehicle, and you can take your bikes from there. So smart design there. You can take everything you need with you. Let's go look inside. All right, so as we head inside, I'm going to be switching between a wide angle lens like this and a regular lens, and maybe even a zoom lens. And I just want you to know that when we're in wide angle like we are right now, there edges can be skewed a little bit if you sort of watch my hand go across. So some of the view could be skewed a little bit, and that may make it more difficult to sort of judge sizing of everything, but I'll try to give as best description as I can. One thing I like about the step here, some steps in these small trailers sort of are the fold in type, and they kind of mount here, and if they're not perfectly down at the right level or on level ground, you got to play with them to adjust it. This is a simple lift and set it in step. It does not connect to the ground in any way, and that is just even though it's a less expensive style, they call it less stable. The advertisement for the bigger ones is that it's more stable. I don't think they're that much more stable, and this is much more convenient, much more easy to use. The other thing you're gonna have here is this screen door here, and you just pull this aside like that, and you put it across here, and that allows you to latch like that, and that means you have a proper screen door. The only reason I point that out is because sometimes on these smaller trailers, they don't have that screen door, and it is, in my mind, more necessary because although this has a window here, it's a frosted window. If you have the screen door open, you can sort of see out the door there, and then you have the window in the back. It does add some light where you would want it. It keeps the bugs out. It's just a good thing. Now, the reason some of these trailers don't have these screen doors is because this door is not a full height. We're going to show you that a little bit later as we come outside the unit, but it is worth pointing out that they did some, obviously trimming or custom making to make this door fit, because as I jump in here as a 6-footer, I am going to have to duck as I go through the door. Now that door does hold with a little T-handle in the bottom there. I don't know if you can see it there. Let's just zoom all the way in. Oops. There we go. Come on, camera. There we go. You can see the little T-handle's hanging down right now, and I could connect it right up. So, all right, let's go back to the regular view here. Let's go fully wide angle as we jump inside. Okay, so the 17 FD floor plan is what we're looking at. What you have here is a dinette in the front. Again, we are wide angle, and right there you can see the table is designed to let that extra person in. This is probably best as a 2-person unit, but you could absolutely take 4 people in here. You can set this up as a bed to sleep across, and that works. So dinette immediately to the right once you walk in the door. Again, as I walk in here, I'll show you my head height in a second, but you can see this door is a foot off the ceiling or so, maybe a little bit more than a foot off the ceiling, and it'll show you how high my height is. Actually, let's just do that right now, my head off the ceiling, and we'll show you. All right, so there's the view with my head off the ceiling. Again, I'm 6 feet tall, I'm wearing shoes here, so I have headroom here. That's not an issue. If you're, 6'3" or 6'4", you're gonna be a little tight in here. But if you're 6 feet like I am, I'm 6 feet sort of with shoes on, so 6'1", 6'2", you'll still be fine in here. But you can see you will be ducking through the door. Now, it's not a huge deal because you start at lower and you kind of come up and in, but it is worth noticing that you do have to be aware of that lower door height. So, roof height, there's what it is. Let's continue to look at the rest of the unit. So we're back out the front door here, or the side door, I guess, the only door, and we'll take a look at what you have here. First of all, good cabinet space in here, and you can see that it's very deep, and obviously the manufacturing hasn't fully cleaned that out. You do have a little 12-volt port right there. That's probably what the fridge is plugged into right there. There's some plumbing underneath here. And again, good space here overall. Down underneath here, you have some service access panels, so you can see that's screwed in there, so that's why that's screwed in. Sometimes there's a little extra space in there, so if you had something you wanted to store a little bit, you could put some storage in there. And then you have your furnace down here, so we'll show you that, this simple furnace down there. And then you have the fridge, we'll show you that in a second. A full queen bed, which I want to talk about in a second, but before we get to that, we have to talk about a proper wet bath inside. So, what you have here is the toilet, of course, mounted up high, so it works quite well. You do have a privacy door here, which gives you good privacy. You can see my fingers, that you can see them when they're touching, but you can't see them without, so you will know someone's in there, but it's not full privacy. It's a typical shower curtain style privacy as far as visibility. And then, of course, you have your typical RV, you can shut the water off from here, so if you want to use less water, you can do that. A wet bath is absolutely the way to go in this type of unit because you have a toilet, you have a shower if you need it. Of course, if you go to a camp bath, no big deal. And you have a pretty cool looking, it looks like a tile, but it's actually all one piece, so there's no tiling difference in there. But that does give you a lot of functionality, well placed. And you can see why there would be no windows on this side, right? You could maybe have put one here, but again, you have the door right there. And, it doesn't make sense with the shower there. Now, let's talk about the queen bed. The queen bed underneath this is storage. I have been in a lot of smaller units where they put a shelf at the end for your watch, your phone, your other types of things. The windows here are good size for what you have. Why I'm happy there's no shelf here is because you have one right up here. Now you can reach this, we'll show you that in a second here. You can reach that shelf quite easily, but as a 6-footer laying on my stomach with my toes pointed, I easily fit on this bed. That is a difference when you have the shelf there. So by using the shelf up here, you get a little bit longer bed than some others do in this class. And you can see even the mattress, it's still got a couple inches of space on the edges there. That's your emergency exit / window on this side, because you have to have one on the opposite side of the door. So that's just a regular window, but it could be used as an emergency exit in case of an emergency. Over here, you have your typical stereo system that's in a lot of these units here. It's Bluetooth capable, so you're probably going to connect your phone, play your music through that. And there are speakers in the ceiling, which we'll show you right now. There's a speaker there. There's another one over on the other side. So 2 speakers inside here on the Bluetooth stereo. There is a space up here. This is just my junk that I carry around for filming. Over here you have, let's just zoom in a little bit. Oops, trying to do this correctly. There we go. You have your regular propane furnace. Now, if you're plugged into electricity, just get a little electric heater, use that instead, because there's no point wasting your own propane when you're paying for electricity anyways. Use an electric heater at an electric site. The other thing you have here is the plug for your air conditioner. Now, like I mentioned, this is a recreation, or not a typical recreational vehicle air conditioner. That means it's not here on the ceiling, which means you still preserve headroom. You have good space or good aerodynamics on the outside, and it doesn't draw a ton of power. So you've got overall that little air conditioner there, which is all you need, and it's mounted high, which is nice. And then you have a microwave down here. Coming down to the bottom, nice sink, you know, typical smaller size, but it works well. 2-burner stove, nothing too fancy there. And again, you can sort of see why there's no window there, just be greasy area, that kind of thing. So having that easy clean area is nice. Now let's talk overall storage. We'll show you in the fridge in 1 second as well. Underneath this bench, full storage, only from the inside. Underneath this bench, full storage only from the inside. The only thing I'd like to see is I'd like this to be like a door or something like that, so you could access it without having to pick these cushions up. When you pick the cushions up, which I'll do right now for you, there is a little drilled hole there to stick your finger through to pick up that space there. And again, pretty good storage underneath there. Let's just go full wide angle. So good storage underneath there. So I like the interior from a practical standpoint here, because you've got a lounge sitting area, you've got a proper bed over here, and again, proper length bed. You've got the storage underneath from the outside underneath there. You've got the shelf over there. And we should show you when we're on the bed here. Let's just come around here, sneak on the bed. You've got a plug right there to charge your stuff. You can put a TV up on this shelf if you want to. That's your cable connection there. USB ports to charge your stuff. And I believe that's the light switch for the light switch again are right above your bed here. So let me just flip the camera around for 1 second so you can see me on the bed. And that's not what everyone wants to see, but trust me, it'll be not as bad as you think. All right, this is a little tougher to do with the handheld camera, but I look like I'm really tight here, but I'm in front of it. So as I sit back here, I have quite a bit of space between me and that shelf above me. So again, I'm 6 feet tall sitting on the bed. You can sort of see, you know, normal sitting there. So there's quite a bit of space in here. You're not going to bang your head on any of that, but you've got some space. And again, having that shelf here allows you to have that proper full length lay down on the bed space back here, which I really appreciate as well. So great space in here in a pretty compact trailer. Still sitting on the bed in the same spot here. Just want to show you the fridge here. One mistake I think is I think it should be hinged this way. It is hinged that way. I don't think you can change that as it is. To me, that just, you know, doesn't make sense, because the kitchen's there. It'd be nice to open the fridge towards the kitchen rather than opening it towards the bed. It is what it is. You know, sometimes there's some compromises to be made. But over here, actually a pretty good size fridge. And again, that 12-volt fridge, so you can run it while you're driving down the road. The nice things with these is they don't have to be perfectly level to be running. Some of the other fridges have to be much leveler to be safer, to be most efficient. So the 12-volt fridges, you can be a little bit off level. And again, you can drive it when you can hook the power cord through your vehicle to this. You can run it while you're driving, and then you can run it while you're parked, which is super helpful as well. So good fridge space there, you know, good style of fridge for this type of unit. And again, because you can park sort of off level and it's not going to matter that much. Overall, let's take one last look. Wide angle at the inside. Again, really hard to show you properly the overall space here, but you can see there's pretty good space in here. Again, I am wide angle, so it's going to skew. That's why I'm walking around, just to keep the edges kind of straight. The center is usually pretty accurate. Flipping here, standing at the dinette. In fact, let's just sit at the dinette and take a look out this way. And I can tell you one thing, putting my feet up over here and leaning against the back is still pretty comfortable. Maybe a pillow behind my lower back. But again, decent for lounging, decent for space, and yeah, works quite well, especially with that bathroom in here. All right, so the one thing I wanted to show you is just have a look at the door here. I'm just about to come out there. You do have to duck if you're a 6-footer to get through there. There's me standing on the shelf. I don't know, the angle might skew it a little bit, but this is about ear height to me. So coming out, not really a problem because you see it, but coming in, if you go straight up, you will bang your head. So you just need to sort of look in like this. It's not hard to do. It's not like it's a big deal, but it is something to remember that the door is a little lower, and that does help you with that sort of overall aerodynamics. I did clip the door this time, so we'll unclip that, put it back. So let's talk about who this unit is for right now. So the one battle I get into with people, or one battle people want to have with me, is that they say these small units are just as expensive as bigger units. And I want to be clear, let's just sort of solve that problem right now. The answer is yes, they are as expensive as bigger units because bigger units basically have a little bit more fiberglass. It costs virtually nothing to make a unit longer. The cost in these units is in making them and all of the components. And because this has all of the components, it has the toilet, the shower, the sink, the air conditioner, the fridge, the holding tanks, everything you have in a bigger unit, a lot of those expenses are the same whether you have a single bathroom in a big unit or a single bathroom in a small unit. The couches and that kind of thing, those things don't cost a lot. So some of these small units are a little more expensive than people think because they think like cars. Big car expensive, small car less expensive. It's a little different with these small units. What you do get in some of these small units though is really good quality because they build these just as strong as longer units. You can see with the tires and the frame and that kind of thing, and just even the interior quality, you have great quality. So they don't try to chintz out on the quality that they have on some of these longer units to get in these smaller units. So you have a really quality unit. Now, why buy this one over other ones, this model over other models? Because this is not the only teardrop shape. Well, it depends on what you're looking for. A couple things I like about this is the variety of floor plans. If you have a 4-person family and want something smaller, you can get bunks in the front. You can have a whole bunch of different floor plans, but you can sort of set this up. You can have a dinette in the back, like a U-shaped dinette that very easily folds to a bed, and that can make it really useful for a family of 4. You could have, you know, your dog in here, that kind of thing. The reason you want to go with a smaller unit is because a lot of our more modern vehicles are actually losing towing capacity. It's something that the RV manufacturer or the automotive manufacturers aren't telling you, but as there's this push for fuel efficiency, sometimes what they're doing is just lowering the capacity of towing. So what you end up with is a car that used to be able to tow 5,000 pounds, now tows 3,500 pounds, and something like this can easily be towed by that. But this is also easier to drive, easier to park, easier to set up in camp, and it's more aerodynamically efficient, so it actually saves you money on fuel as well. So the value equation isn't always there for going for a smaller unit, but the ease of life, the ability to have any campground or any campsite in the campground can also make a difference. One of the things I really love about these is you can bring these to essentially tent camping campground or tent camping parks. And when I grew up, we went camping, and sometimes the RV world now, they'll stick you in the fully serviced RV sites and you are stuck in a row of big trailer, big trailer, big trailer, big trailer, and you lose that camping ability. You can still go to RV parks and park in the RV sections, but you can also go to the camping sections and get way cooler campsites when you go with a smaller trailer. So while the price of the unit isn't maybe as big of a gap from some of the larger units, the ability to camp, the things you dream about when you say, hey, we're going on a vacation, we're gonna go tour the country, whatever we're gonna go do, the smaller units allow you to do that. Now, there are very small units that don't have bathrooms, but this one gives you everything a bigger unit gets without the floor space inside. So what do? You sit outside. Now, one thing people are gonna point out is on some of these units, they don't have awnings. Again, that's about the efficiency, it's about a whole bunch of things. What I like to do is set up a screen tent. So you're not locked to your trailer. You bring a screen tent in the hatch, you set it up where you want on your campsite, and you have an outdoor eating place where you can be bug-free, and if you get the right screen tent, you can also be rain-free sitting outside as well. So that would be my solution for prefer no awning. Maybe you have a better solution, but that is my review of this unit. If you have questions and you want to know more, let me know in the comment section below, and remember to subscribe because I have complete access to this, and I'm sure there'll be other floor plans that we're going to come take a look at that we can come see. So if there's something you want to see, let me know. Something I left out, just let me know and I'll make sure I cover it in the next video. Thanks everybody for watching, and I want to give a special thanks to the dealership here. Link is in the description. You can see them, you can check it out. People want to know about pricing, check the link in the description. They'll have up-to-date pricing on their website, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks everybody for watching.